Hello and welcome back to the DanGoesOutdoors YouTube channel. If you're new around here, ever think about subscribing. I put out a video most Sunday mornings. People seem to like the Sunday morning upload, you know, get your bacon butter and your cup of tea and sit down to a bit of DGO. That is fantastic. I do the same. Yeah, today I'm out on a local stretch of river. As you know, the river season, I think by the time this video goes up, will be, well, over the next day. If I put it out this Sunday, I think it ends on the Monday if I've got that right. So anyway, this week is my last chance to get out and catch a decent fish. If you watched last week's video, I managed that. I caught a pretty good chub, so if you want to see that, go back and watch that one. And it was on this same river. It was a bit further upstream, and I've decided to basically just pick up where I left off last time. It worked quite well. So yeah, I'm down in a different stretch here. Seeing if I could maybe get a barbel this time. That's what I'd really like, but you know, if a good chub or two comes along, I will be more than happy with that. So I'm doing pretty much what I did last time. I got worms on the inside rod, a big bait cast further downstream on the other rod, and yeah, just seeing what happens. It's very mild. We haven't had a frost for, well, a good 3-4 days now at least, and you know, I've taken off my jumper and everything, you know. I'm just down to my fleece and that, so this is lovely. I'm hoping that with that little bit of mild temperature at the time of year, and the fact that there was a little bit of rain last night, not much but a little bit, hopefully that will encourage some fish to bite. So I'm just going to recast my left-hand rod here, which is the big bait, the pellet and PVA bag combo there. And yeah, when I was fishing it downstream, I could only really fish it to the left and to the back of the swim, which would then give me enough room to fish for worms to the right. But when it went in super shallow, like I didn't even get a drop at all. And even if I'm fishing like 2 foot of water, you still get a bit of a drop. But now it landed instantly, and when I wound in, it had a bit of leaves on the hook. So yeah, not too confident in that. So what I'm actually going to do is fish it directly upstream of myself, just sort of round this bush here, because there's a lovely run here. It looks a little bit deeper, and yeah, it's right in front of me, but I'm not making any noise other than when I talk to you guys when I recast or whatever. And there's quite a high bank here behind me, so I'm not skylining myself at all. So in theory, there's no reason why a fish wouldn't be here, you know, as opposed to down there. Like, it's still river, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to do that, and at least it'll give me some more room to fish the right hand rod, and I'll be more confident of getting a bite on this rod anyway. Well, it went in, it still went in pretty shallow, didn't get a drop either. I'm not sure, we'll give it its time and see. I kind of need a bit of depth as well, because I'm fishing upstream. I need the lead to go down and the bait to go behind it, so I need a little bit of depth of water for that to happen. But with the hook and everything in a PVA bag, maybe it'll roll round anyway. Let's see. There we go, that's the rod's in. Because I'm fishing a little bit closer in, I've lowered the rod tips a fair bit, get better angle on the line, hopefully not spook fish as they're coming by close in. So I'm not sure if the camera caught it or not, because I had a bit of a wobble there. Seems to have prematurely run out of battery, so probably means I left it running at one point without realising, and I'll get home, plug the SD card in, and it'll be full. But anyway, yeah, put a new battery in now, so let me just re-explain it. I went on that walk to have a look at the other spot. The one other spot I fancied, there's an angler already in it, so we are now here for the afternoon and the evening. But not to worry, I've caught fish from here before. I'm sure there are fish here, might just be that we'll have to wait until the evening for that to happen. I've ended up putting my left-hand rod very close in, because where I was casting it, it felt really shallow, and when I was walking up and down the bank, I could see from above how shallow it was, especially close in, yet right in front of me here, about 4 foot deep. So I've just lowered that one in there and put my worms down that sort of run on my inside track there. So yeah, I'm pretty confident. Found some more worms, that's great. Rather worryingly found this bag of bedding in a bin bag that had been littered in the woods back there. So, you know, I don't know what that's all about and I don't want to know, but I kicked it over, load of worms underneath, fantastic. So we've got fresh bait out now. And, you know, often on these rivers, this is what happens. Throughout the day, nothing, seems dead. And you think, how can there be fish out there in just a few feet of water? Yet, come 5, 6 o'clock, rod starts knocking and then you get a run at like last light. That's happened so many times. But if you follow my channel, you've seen that happen 3 or 4 times. Let's hope it happens today. We have now entered a brilliant time of day. This is what I love. It's that moment when you just realise that the afternoon's over and you are going into the evening. You can see it's getting darker now, the sun's setting, and this is the time that rivers and commercials always seem to come alive late in the afternoon, early evening. So let's hope that happens, because I've received no indications so far, but that's happened to me before here. Yeah. Got everything crossed, because yeah, really I've got today and maybe one other session this week, and that's it till June. As you can see, it's pretty dark now. I'll probably fish on for another 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes, something like that. And before I go, just like last week, I'll chuck in a handful or 2 of pellets. Just give me somewhere to start. If I do come back tomorrow or the day after, at least I've got a bit of bait to drop onto. If not, I might try a different swim elsewhere, but yeah, pretty disappointed nothing happened today. It felt better than last week, and even last week we caught and got some indications, but today just nothing at all. So yeah, I'll give it a little bit longer and we'll see if our luck changes tomorrow or later on in the week. Okay, morning. It's the next day and back on the same stretch of river, and this is the swim that I saw the fish topping in yesterday. So I decided to give it a go first. When I first got here this morning, a couple of anglers sniffing about and one was set up in here, but by the time I went for a walk and came back, he was gone, and had a little chat to him in the car park. He didn't get anything, but he was sort of fishing maggots and things, so I don't know if he was after big fish or, you know, just roach or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I told him I saw the fish in it yesterday and he sort of rolled his eyes, but at that point he'd made his mind up to go on upstream, basically to where I caught from last week. So yeah, I told him about the chub and the spot. A little bit of sharing of information goes a long way. And yeah, I set up, I put a couple of worms out, little PVA bag of pellets, usual stuff. Oh, birds everywhere this morning. And yeah, I wound in last night. I stayed about 10 minutes after I spoke to you, and a little bit of a complaint in that when I wound in, my big fish rod, well, my big bait rod that had the big pellet, bag of pellets, paste wrap, all that good smelly stuff, the PVA was just a glob around the hook. You know, I like to thread my PVA bag down the hook, and it's my own fault. I bought a cheap PVA refill. Basically, I bought a load of leads for carp season off of you know, like an online lead maker, rather than buying them in tackle. Well, not buying them in tackle shops, but rather than buying branded ones. Perfect for fishing a pit and things when you're losing leads a lot. And PVA was awful. It barely dissolved. It's just like, I couldn't describe it as like a parachute of PVA around the hook. Now, I'm not saying that's why I didn't catch, but couldn't help my presentation. Maybe it put fish off, and if a fish did mouth the bait, then the hook point can't prick them. So yeah, I was really annoyed because I waited prime time on what could be like some of my last sessions of the year. So yeah, really frustrating. So I've taken it off. I did have some Corda stuff kicking about at home, so that's now on my tube there. And you know, lesson learned. I'm not going to name and shame them because I work in retail myself, and when people go straight on social media and name and shame you, it can really affect your sales. But I will send them an email and just warn them, but like rubbish, absolute rubbish stuff. On my other rod as well, where I'm clipping it onto the lead, like a load of it just still wrapped around the clip. Oh, awful. But yeah, so I'm fishing this swim, giving it one quick go, just one rod, worms in a bag, see what happens. So a little bit of a change of plan. I was fishing with just one rod, you know, one cast, one bait, trying to get a quick bite from those fish I saw yesterday, but that hasn't happened. So I'm going to recast now. Since I'm recasting, I'm going to put both rods out, both on worms, and yeah, give this swim a good fair chance. There we go. So this is the little PVA bag trick I'm doing by putting the eye of the PVA through the quick link and catching a few of the fibres as well. It's there around the lead, and that means that everything can sort of trundle down around my hook bait a little bit better. And plus, when I'm using wormers and things, I found that when I was threading the PVA bag down, sometimes when I cast it, kind of like damage the worms a little bit. So yeah, I think that's a bit more effective. Well, this is more like how winter has been so far fishing wise, just sat in the rain. It's going really muddy down here, and I'm keeping my eye on a stick in the margins there, and yeah, it's definitely coming up. It's come up about, I'd say, an inch or two since I've been here. So I think what I'm going to do is stay here while it's like this, but if it does slow down, I'm going to move. I'm going to try and go where I was yesterday. Another angler has turned up, I think, so I'll just have to check that they're not in that spot, and if they're not, I'll be giving it a go. But while it's like this, I'm staying here. Right, I'm going to say this is my chance. It's slow down a little bit, so I'm going to wind in, have a quick walk, check the swim's free, and then run down there if it is. Okay, that's the move done. I'm soaking wet now, but it's not cold. At least I can take that, but it's not freezing cold, it's not windy or whatever. It's actually not too bad. Rods are out. Really disappointed nothing happened in that last spot. The fish started showing again in exactly the same spot as they were showing when I saw them yesterday, but I got a good look at them and I think they were just little grayling. And when I brought the worms in, they were both presented absolutely perfectly, clean as a whistle, so no reason why, if they were fishing the area, I didn't get any bites. So yeah, I can only assume that there weren't really big fish there. So I've come down here, and with a bit of luck, something will happen. Since I put that bait in yesterday, still mild, a little bit of fresh rain going in. It's not cold rain either, so textbooks would say a rising river isn't necessarily a bad thing if it's warm. Who knows? Well, finally, first nod I've had in about 12 hours of fishing. Right hand rod, just quick shake. Oh, there's fish in the area. Brilliant. Oh, yeah. Okay, something just completely destroyed my right hand rod, but somehow didn't get hooked. I'm bloody gutted about that. We'll let it sit there for 5-10 minutes and reel it in and check it. Oh my god. I should just check it now. We're in, lads. Unbelievable. Got to take it very steady. Oh man. Don't think it's massive, but it's a fish. Which right now is all I care about. Oh my god. Hope it doesn't trap that other line. Oh my god. Is it a barbel? Could be. Oh jeez, it's shaking. What? Spin you around a bit. Oh, there we go. Stuck on something then. Got it moving again. Oh. My heart is in my mouth. Come on. Just thinking dog on a lead, just slowly work it back. It is chucking it down. Oh God, my heart's pounding. If this is a barbel, if this is anything, good chub. I don't know. Chub or barbel, that's the realistic options. Jeez. Holding in that rising current. Okay, I can see my lead. I think that could be a barbel. Oh my God, it is. Oh. Now it's gone. Come on. Mad fish. Just gonna have to work it back up again. Whoa, huge log coming through. I'm worried we're on for a flood, so I just really want to land this fish. Right, it's getting close. Oh my God. Okay. And relax. Muddy. 6.5 minutes to play that fish on the clock there, and I'm buzzing. End of season barbel, can't believe it. I think what I'm actually going to do is take the fish up the bank. It's so muddy and steep and horrible down here that I'll go in or the fish will get covered in mud or whatever. So I've got my rope set up, as you might be able to see there. So I'll take the fish up the top there, where we can handle it safely, safer for me and the fish. Oh, amazing. Well, there you go. For the sake of the extra 20 seconds it took to get up here, at least we can now handle the fish somewhere safely. Oh man, that's incredible. I just put on a new hook. When I got that big bang, which I'm sure was a fish getting away with it, I wound in and the hook had lost its point a little bit, so I put on a new one. And yeah, it wasn't back in there long. There's the remnants of the worms. Incredible to be catching these fish on worms that I'm finding on the floor. still kicking, which is a good thing really. Shows it's still got energy. There we go, what? 3-4 pound barbel? Well, 3.5, something like that. But honestly, that could be a double figure pike, 20 pound carp. Means so much to me on the last, what, 3-4 days of the season. Chucking it down. It's stopped raining now. It's as if this has all come together for me. No rain. Brilliant barbel on the worms. Do we have time for another one? I don't know. I don't know if it's just this fish causing all those bites. Can't have been, there must be more. But you're amazing, mate. Thank you so much. Oh, what a way to end the season. The Yorkshire barbel. So thick on the tail on this one. I wonder if it fought so hard. Get it back. Right. I'll leave my rod up here. I'll just go down with the net. Try and release it, try and take you guys with me. Actually, if I go down with the fish in the net, put the net in the water, then I can come back for the camera and the fish can recover a little bit before we release it as well. Yeah, that's perfect. Well, with it being such a muddy, horrible pit down here, I can't get to the water's edge to release this fish, so I just have to use the net. Looks like it's facing the wrong way, like it's not facing upstream, but there's a back eddy here, so actually that's the right way around. Now it's the wrong way around, but it's doing what it wants. It's kicking away. Oh yeah, let's not hesitate. If it's active and it's giving it the big one, let's go. Oh, not the most graceful, but oh, yeah. Ah. And there we go. Big kick at the end. Oh. Yeah, not the most graceful, but with this bank, that's the best we could do, and I'm happy with that. Well, my hook's still sharp, and we've still got a little bit of time, so I've put a fresh bunch of worms on. Might as well give it a go while we're still here. Okay, well, I'm in a bit of a daze now. Yorkshire barbel for me are probably one of the most rewarding fish to catch, considering it took me, well, I suppose in terms of time I was fishing for about maybe 15 years before I actually caught one. Not that I tried them that much. When I was really committed to them, it took me about 8 months to get one. So yeah, they're so rare, and even where they're more common, I'll say, still not easy to catch. So yeah, I'm over the moon with that. Got about 40-45 minutes of good fishing time left now. It's just started raining again, so I'll put the brolly up and see this day out. Well, I don't know how much you're getting of this, because these cameras don't exactly do it justice, but just look at that incredible orange sky. Looking at the back of the screen here, it kind of looks a bit more yellow, but I can promise you that is the most incredible early spring sunset. Right, let's get another fish to round this day off. Well, hopefully you can still see me. Yeah, probably gonna have to make it a lot brighter when I edit this, but anyway, yeah, I'm going to take advantage of this gap in the weather and make a break for it before it gets too dark and too wet. Also, the river is really rising quickly. It was rising at about 1 inch an hour while I was here throughout the day, but it's now just shot up about 6 inches since I put that barbel back, so I think it's time to go. Anyway, yeah, I'm not too sad about leaving because I got the ultimate prize for me on there. Days like this, fishing like this, a barbel is the best thing I could hope for, and I got one. That's great, and a brilliant way to finish my 2020-2021 river season. Yeah, hopefully you guys have finished your season really well as well. If you can get out in a moment, If not, let's hope next year you guys just absolutely slay it if you missed out on a lot of river fishing this year. But anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching. Give video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you haven't already, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Thank you.